Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Legendary Megazord from Power Rangers Super Megaforce. This is super exciting because it's the world's first invisible Megazord, so that should make this review interesting. No, I'm kidding, obviously. If you believe that, I question you. Anyway, I just wanted to show the box quick because it's a new year, new packaging, anyway, all that kind of stuff. So here's obviously where the Megazord was, where the Ranger key it comes with was, and here's the logo. It says Power Rangers Super Megaforce. Here it shows the Zords individually that combine to form the Legendary Megazord. Cool picture of Super Megaforce Red slashing. It says Legendary Megazord. On the side it advertises how Ranger keys work and what you can do with them. And I guess you can slide them together, which I didn't even think about during my Morpher review. Here's a really cool shot of Legendary Megazord. Here's another pic of how Ranger keys work. A little advertisement for the app. On the back, once again, shows that these 5 become this Megazord, and that you can turn the key in the back and put the key in there. And then it shows advertisements for the auxiliary Zord line, which is not released as of this recording, but it shows all the formations. You got Mystic Force, SPD, Zeo, Samurai, / Wild Force, and then it shows that it also is going to have cycles that are compatible, and then advertises the various Ranger keys. Another shot of Super Megaforce Red. So, pretty neat packaging. Now let's go ahead and pull the Zords out. So here we have the 5 individual Zords? Yeah, the individual Zords. The individual Zords out of box. This is supposed to be clenched together. It came undone. So we'll take a look at them individually and then do a brief comparison to their Japanese counterpart in case anyone's curious. I suppose we will start with Pink. Okay, so taking a look, here we have Pink's Zord. Pretty basic, just like usual. Usually these sets don't shine in the individual Zords. You got this anchor design here, black and gold paint, pink and black. Really basic. It rolls. It really doesn't do anything else. It doesn't look that spectacular. Here it is next to the Japanese counterpart. As usual, it's a lot bigger, a lot more detailed. You've got the logo here. This part has the more submarine part right here, which is going to twist when you transform it. And this just has another Zord connector port for Zord builder mechanic. But, as you can see, pretty typical differences in it. Alright, so now let's move on to yellow. Alright, here we have Yellow Ranger Zord. Yet again, very basic. This one even more so. It's very much primarily yellow, just the little black stripes here, a little gold here and black here. Looks very, I hate to say it, but crappy, but just like this. You know, I think overall the set's pretty decent, but just on its own it really doesn't do much. Let's take a look at it next to the Japanese version. Obviously, yet again, a lot greater size. This one doesn't have a lot more details on it because there's not really much color to it in general. Just a little bit of a different yellow, some more symbols throughout, and they also roll. The major difference between these two is that this one, when you transform it, just acts on a Zord builder peg that you just pull off. Or no, wait, the main difference is that with this one you can just yank this up like that, and with this one you actually have to pull it off and snap it back on here like that. The advantage of that, and I think they both have their pluses and minuses, the hair, that's gross, is that this one can swivel, adding a little more character to it. But I like the fact that with this one, all you have to do is fold it up. But so yeah, that's the differences. Alright, let's check out greens. Oh, you have the Green Rangers, which I think will be called the Racer based off of the Morpher sounds. So yet again, very, very basic. Honestly, like I said, they don't really shine in this mode. Primarily green, you got the black plastic here and just this little sliver of silver paint. He does roll. Other than that, nothing spectacular. Here we have the Japanese version, obviously yet again size. And you know, honestly, the Gokai-oh mech didn't have very many details on him, as you've been able to see from the last few. So it's only some really minor differences, which is only, I guess, an issue of accuracy for you if you're wanting to display them individually. Other than that, there's not a huge amount of differences between the two. Alright, let's take a look at the jet. Here we have what is likely the Super Mega Jet. Yet again, very, very basic, primarily blue. You've got the gold little pieces here, which are black on the Japanese version, which we'll be pulling in a second. This is actually going to become the helmet for it. But other than that, it doesn't do much other than roll, and it doesn't even have the little wheels that pull down like here on the Japanese version. Once again, size, just a bit more details. These aren't pulled down quite as much. Obviously you can see these are black here, and they have silver painted symbols, as where these are just a molded on symbol and are gold. And there's like a little gold paint here, and these little wheels fold down But yeah, that is the difference there. And then last but not least, the Skyship slash Gokai.
Right.
Taking a look at the Skyship, it's obviously the largest of the bunch and easily the best looking individual Zord. I always really dug it. I think it's a pretty cool looking Zord. You got like the flags here, you got its little double sworded thing here, which is obviously going to become the sword. That's why I call them swords. But yeah, I mean, it's really basic when it comes down to it, you know, red, gold, and black. Not a whole lot to it, but I think it's a really neat design. And like I said, definitely the best looking individual one, and if for whatever reason you just want to display it like this, I don't think you'll have that much of a problem. Here we have the Japanese version. Honestly, there's not a terrible amount of differences on it. Like I said, just bigger, maybe a little bit more refined details. Obviously, some differences in the compatibility of the way that their systems are set up. But honestly, they're pretty similar. This one just looks like it's a little baby. But really nothing too major as compared to the other ones, and I think this is a fine substitute for a Skyship. So anyway, now we are going to go ahead and pull everyone back in so we can do the transformation. Ready for transformation, which is very, very simple. Just take yellow and you fold its leg up like this and it's already ready, or its foot up, rather. Pink's very easy too. You just separate this here, and it's kind of different than a nail, so there we go. And just fold it out and it's going to become another leg. And then you got the legs ready. So I'm just going to set these here. Now for the ship, it's very, very easy. Just separate this piece just a little bit. To get that out, and then we're just going to set this aside. So then just fold these flaps down here, fold these all the way out, and then we're going to reveal the head. Now just take this piece, fold it up, fold it around, and then fold this down so you get the symbol here. And then this is already folded down. Or was it folded up in the first place? I don't know, but it's folded down now. And then you just place the pegs like that. Now let's just pan up a little bit. Alright, so greens is very simple. Just move its wheels down, like this, and then pull this, alright, that was wrong. I was thinking the peg and hole in the reverse for some reason. Anyway, the hole's right here, and then just pull his hand out right there. There you go. Now blues, take this off, it's going to become the cap. Fold these down, and then it just snaps on. Very easy. And then this obviously is going to become the cap, which just snaps on there. And then these are going to be the swords, so to separate them, this one here goes on the green side because it can just slide right into his hand. And then blues has to go in sideways because it's got that red piece, which you just fold back. And there you have it. That is the Legendary Megazord. Wait, I put the hand in wrong. Why didn't you guys tell me? There we go. Legendary Megazord. So, not half bad, because this Megazord is a little bit smaller, which they typically are, but I honestly think it's not a terrible substitute for it. It does lack some paint details, obviously, from the Japanese version, and I do think that even regardless of the Japanese version, they could have included a few more paint details, mainly because I tend to be a little bit harder on the paint details in these in my reviews because I also collect the Bandai Ben 10 line, and they put a great amount of detail figures and or details into their 4-inch figures and in their little Hyper Alien figures, and they put quite a lot into those Ben 10 figures. So yeah, that's the only reason. Articulation wise, obviously this is a brick. It can only really move its arms, and that's pretty much all you're gonna get. Can't really move its legs or anything. We'll just take a quick zoom in detail at it. There's the head, actually pretty solidly done. There's really not much to the head, and I think they did a pretty good job on it. Zoom back a little bit, just taking a look down. See, overall, I don't think it looks that bad. It could have just used maybe a small cleanup in the details, but like I said, the mech and the Megazord, or the Zords, aren't really that detail rich to begin with. Maybe just down here they could have painted these or something. I don't know, just given it just a smidge more, maybe painted the symbols that are supposed to be up here, and that's really not that much more paint. I know that they don't have the little submarine piece which twists around on gokai-oh instead of the Zord connector ports, but I think the connector ports are important because one thing this thing really has going for it is the Zord builder mechanic, which allows you to combine this with all kinds of different Zords, stretching all the way back to the MMPR 2010 toy line, which is actually really neat. The fact that you can do that. It's fun for kids if they want to mix and match, and even fun for collectors to do various combinations, just mess around with it. One of its main features here is that it comes with a Ranger key right here, which is just a clear version of the Super Megaforce red key. As you can see here, it's really no difference from the one you get with the Morpher, other than that it's clear. You still transform it the same. You just apply a little pressure and it flips up. We will quickly show the sounds right now, which are the exact same as regular Super Megaforce Red, just to get that out of the way. So twist it in. And then unlock again, twist. So summon Skyship. So yeah, the exact same as the Super Megaforce Red key you get with the Morpher. But now you can use this here in the back. There's a keyhole right here, and then you twist it and that will pop out. So let's do it again. Just twist it and that'll pop out. And then you can actually put that in so it's smaller. And then you can take the Ranger key, if you want, and put it in here. And that's seconds of fun. So here's the thing. Another major complaint, this won't close, people have against this thing is that in the Japanese version, I'm going to get him out of there, is the gimmick here is, this is actually a twistable knob. It's not movable here other than the key switch. And when you twist it around, this will come flying open, these compartments come flying open, and these compartments come flying open, which are used for the various season gimmicks. This one, only this pops out. They're going to be using the Zord builder system and all that for the other things, which I'm honestly fine with. The other gimmick tended to scare me when I accidentally activated it. Excuse me. One plus thing is I love the fact that you can actually retract this and make it a lot less noticeable and a lot less cumbersome if you're displaying it in a certain way. Because the other one you had to actually pull the piece off. So that is something, it was kind of a neat gimmick, I agree, but I'm not too upset about it, but I can kind of get why people are because that was kind of a neat thing, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. I really like the fact that they actually incorporated the Ranger key turn into it, which actually would have been really cool if you turned it and then all of the things opened, but I do like that they did that. So now we will do some comparisons real quick. First we're going to do some American comparisons, just quickly. I'm going to show it next to the Gosei Megazord. That is the only one I have near me right now. Samurai's in storage. But here they are next to each other. Super Megaforce is a bit taller. To be honest, overall, I actually do prefer the Gosei Megazord. I think they did a little bit better job at coming up with some of the smaller details on it. But like I said, this is still an okay Megazord, but I just kind of prefer the Gosei Megazord. And it's obviously in scale with the rest of the line. Now here it is next to gokai-oh, its Japanese counterpart. As you can see, quite a bit bigger. And then you see just a little more refined on that one. And then, just to show you, when you twist this, see all these pop out. There you go. And then see all of them pop out. These ones, they just flopped back. But that's the gimmick. And with this, you have to actually pull this piece off. And it has a little cannon in there, which you fold in. So that was the gimmick here. Like I said, I actually tended to mess up that a lot, and it would scare me. It would scare the crap out of me, because I'd be sitting there trying to get it ready for display, and it would just fall over. But yeah, you can see quite a size difference here between the two, which is to be expected. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you probably already know. But I just thought, you know, in case you're really wanting to decide whether you're going to go Gokaiger or local for the collection, that you should know. So anyway, I think that about covers it. Honestly, I think that these are still a really solid substitute for the Japanese line. If you really want to save money, this is a perfectly good Megazord. I think it looks good on the shelf. The individual Zords aren't anything to write home about, but when you have it together, it doesn't look bad. And you know, it is cheaper more often than not just to be able to run down to your store and buy this, and you get it right away, and it's cheaper, and in the long run, like I said, more often than not, it's a lot cheaper to complete the entire line this way. Like I said in the review, my minor complaints include it could have refined the paint a little bit. There's actually not a huge amount of intricate details on it, but maybe just to refine it a smidge, it would have only been a few more amounts of paint. Maybe they could have included the pop-up gimmick. Like I said, not a deal breaker for me, but combined with the key twist, I think actually could have been really neat. You know, twisting the key and having it pop out instead of a full-on rotation gimmick like gokai-oh has. But other than that, it's fine. I dig that we got a little clear key with it, but maybe come with a different key that does different sounds. But that's pretty much typical fare, and you still get at least a different key. But yeah, overall, still a solid alternative. Oh, and just to mention, I'm okay with them getting rid of this. I think I mentioned that, but because I like the fact that you have all these ports for the Zord builder, and it really adds a lot of playability to it. And I think the Zord builder is one of the things that really sets apart the American line, which is really neat. Alright, anyway, I will actually leave now. So yeah, very solid Megazord. I can still recommend it if you would like a cheap alternative to the gokai-oh. Anyway, until next time, make sure to check out the Crazy Podcast at WritersRangersRambles.com. Until next time, it's Dawson Rider, signing out.